So we are trying to stop noise from either coming into a room or leaving a room. And basically the level of isolation is kind of determined by how squishy the product is, right?
Right.
So a spring, this is a full 1-inch coil spring. This is going to be the best product that we would have for both impacts coming down as well as airborne noise coming out, especially lower frequency noise when you get a coil like this. So the idea is that we have a connection path that has to come through here. We want to remove the drywall from a direct attachment where the vibration can transfer through, force it through a column, which is now separated from the actual structure.
So the sheetrock is getting attached to this?
This part right here. Here you can see the sheetrock.
Okay. So, and the concept behind that is because vibration transfers noise.
Correct.
And so you're removing that, so that isolates.
We can't really stop the airborne noise. We can stop the vibration.
Right. So then I want to make sure we said it's not sound absorption, it's sound isolation.
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
You do want to have absorption in the cavity as well. You get a free little couple performance bumps out of that.
What's the R rating that you recommend?
Very low, actually.
Okay.
It's not about R rating. It's about loose coils, 1.25 density per cubic foot is good, 4 inches thick. Some people might argue that, but generally from what I've read, that's what I recommend.
Okay. Got it. So that's what this shows right here?
Yeah, we're showing it with a coil here. Typically for a wall, a rubber clip is satisfactory. You're going to have 2 layers of drywall on one side of the wall and then 2 layers on this typically.
Got it. And then this rubber prevents the vibration.
It's the same idea. When it's in that vibratory state, we can get rid of it with the rubber.
Nice. Okay.
And on floors, the same way. This is a higher performing floor. You see those green pads are basically pre-spaced in the fiberglass bat.
Yep.
You unroll the bat, they're all spaced out. And then on top of that, you're going to build a new isolated subfloor. We're showing it in plywood here. And then put your finished floor on top of that. Highest performing side of that. Some of the next level things, if you have like an outlet box like this, you're going to have a hole in your drywall. You're putting some mass back with the isobacker pad. Something we're seeing a lot of the consulting groups now is they're adding damping to the sheets. And basically that's kind of like ringing a bell and then kind of putting your finger on the bell. So instead of a clang, it's a clunk. Yeah. Where we're less sensitive to those lower frequencies. And they're putting this on studs, risers, everything. We typically just put it between layers of sheetrock.
Okay, so this is definitely dual sheetrock, which means if you want a room to be a certain dimension, they're definitely on the architectural level need to accommodate for 2 layers of sheetrock.
It's all about a performance jump. Going from 1 to 2 is definitely worth the money if you have the space to do it. After that, it's kind of diminishing returns.
Got it. And with this isobacker right here, this is all caulk gun,
That's actually a putty pad to just form right around the box.
Oh, that's even easier.
Yep.
Right. So you just form it around, push it in. This all happens during rough-in.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Yep. Should mechanicals be already installed before this system gets put in place, or?
Typically, and it depends how we're going to do it, because sometimes we need to take that into account when we're doing these isolations, because we're going to have to size these hangers to make sure we get even deflection as well as the performance, because you have to have a minimum amount of deflection.
Okay, so for the ceiling, this could be a pre-mechanical, so that way we, hey, HVAC, stay out of our way. Right.
Or tell us exactly where you're going to be. One or the other.
One or the other.
Yep.
So that way we can design around it. So we try to, design it on the front end as best as possible. But obviously site changes happen. So this is pre-mechanical. This is post-mechanical.
Either. Yeah, but typically post.
But typically post. Yeah, I don't want to put this up and have plumbers come. No.
And some of the odd things from a contractor standpoint, typically, well, for these, you actually want to do the walls first and then the ceiling, which is the opposite of traditional construction, because this you want to fit inside, let it take its set, so you need your walls up first.
Okay, so then
that's a little builder's tip there.
Yeah, but it can go the other direction if we're unsure of the mechanical trade.
You very good contractor, because now you're trying to set that thing after it deflects right on there. We really don't want to do it that way. We want to kind of have that overlap so that noise can't get out of the box.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What else we got?
We'll switch to this side, and before we talk about the fun acoustics, we had the 1-inch coilover springs over here.
Right.
This is your F-150 leaf spring style hanger, right? So that's your next step down. So maybe not as concerned about the impacts as we would be over there.
Right.
Maybe not low frequency noise coming out, but a cost savings with something like this.
Okay.
All right, one of the things that Kinetics is probably the most famous for is we manufacture different types of cores that do different things at different frequencies. So anybody who's ever doing a home theater where you've got music, you do not want to use a typical panel you might find online, which is this one. It's great for voices, it's great for restaurants, that kind of thing, but it tends to over-absorb in the highs, and then as you can see, by the time we're down to 100 hertz, it's not doing anything.
Right.
Putting too much of this in your room will make it worse.
Yes.
Because you're taking all the treble out, leaving all the muddy bass behind. We're going to ask you, what's in your room? Do you have carpeting? Do you have this? Do you have that? So you need this much of this much of this much of that. And basically what we're trying to do is get that reverb time as flat as we can across the full frequency range. And we'll do that with little mixes of these different products. Then you decide if you want them in a panel that you can hang up on the wall, or a stretch system where you're going to install track, put bare cores up, and then tuck track into that to get that nice floor to ceiling kind of seamless look.
So for like that theater room, we create the fabric wall, and then we come in, start tucking. So that way it looks like a legitimate fabric wall.
Yep.
But we also have the balance, the low frequency and the mid range is mixed inside of it.
Correct.
To create that proper solution.
Yep.
And with the EQ, we're talking zero, right? Flat across the board as fast as possible.
And we can get pretty close usually.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's that I try to stress the importance of this, because when it's all over the place, I mean, you're gonna get the rattles, the wall even flapping, it just sounds really bad.
And that's the problem with exactly that type of panel, because you literally all the brightness is gone, the muddiness is left. And the idea is you don't want to be tired straining to listen to the music and the people's voices and all those things.
That is actually a thing. Yeah, you're right. Your brain has to process it. So then it's like, that's actual mental energy that you have to disperse.
Yeah, one of the lines we used to use is, your speakers will sound bad. That's actually not true. You'll hear things because the room's not covering them up from those speakers.
That's right.
That's the big deal.
Yeah, if you put the speaker in the proper environment, you'll see that it is flat.
Yep.
But then you put it in the wrong environment,
exactly.
It's the environment that's making it worse.
And the nice thing about this is it doesn't matter what level of speakers you put in, the acoustics won't change. So if your budget is tight, take a little bit from your speakers, because you can upgrade those later, do this first right, you'll never have to touch it again.
And they probably won't.
Exactly.
Because the proper quality.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Crank it up. All right, here it is playing like this. You have a normal duct like this. Put it in. It's going to amplify the sound, right?
Yeah.
Put it in a duct silencer.
Oh, snap.
And if you look and listen, you can actually see the speaker, and you can't hear it.
What?
You can feel it.
Are you serious?
And I didn't turn it off. I swear, I just put it in there.
Wait, what? No way.
We don't get a chance to demo a lot of this, but this one we can demo.
Okay, so what we're experiencing is what we talked about, right? The isolation of...
This is actually absorption. We're
absorption.
That
You're
sound.
absorbing that sound. But that, I mean, you're like a sham wow of audio right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the idea is it's going to do two things for you. One, any audio you don't want going through the house, and any noise from the actual unit itself coming in. So it works both directions. You may need to put it on the supply or the return, depending on where the sensitive rooms are.
Thanks for watching. To see more about how technology can make life easier, subscribe to our channel and follow us for the latest information.